Waiting to buy a home? The Churchill Mortgage team says now is a great time to buy. Waiting could be a costly mistake because when rates drop, new home buyers will flood the market, driving up home prices. Go to churchillmortgage.com for your free analysis and see how home values can outpace rates to help you build wealth over time faster. This is a paid advertisement. NMLS ID 1591. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender. 1749 Mallory Lane, Suite 100, Brentwood, Tennessee 37027.
Man. So, let me get this straight. When you live in a crazy dystopian future right now, where allegedly inflation has gone up, there's still the momentary crises that are affecting how you have a living here, and then it's the war at home, where at the same time there's another war going on in a war-torn Eastern theater, not to mention, like, all sorts of, unfair treatment to minorities galore over here. And then you're going to work on repealing or overturning Roe v. Wade. That's what that is. That's what that's all about. You're going to go ahead and go after women's rights now? Do you really want that fight? Ain't nobody really going to win that. Why are things so draconian right now? Like really, what's the whole point? Like, what's the end game of all this? Like, what exactly are they trying to do? Let's say if they got what they wanted. Like, who the hell is it going to be serving at that point? And then not only that, you got people talking about going to Canada at this point, and then I'm like, you know what? No, you're not going to Canada. Let me tell you guys something. No, you're going to sit your asses right down because I got you for 30 to 45 minutes. And, in case you didn't realize, welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio!
Help spread love and feel the joy of giving back. During the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event at Beardmore Subaru, Subaru will donate $250 to the charity of your choice for every new Subaru purchased or leased. The ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, the National Park Foundation, the Housing Foundation of Sarpy County, or Offutt Air Force Base's Airman's Attic. Plus, we will give an additional $100 locally to help even more. Go to BeardmoreSubaru.com to learn more. Submit charity selection by 1/12/24. Promotion ends 1/2/24. See Subaru.com for more details.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey, how's it going, J360 Legion? How are you all doing? It is Thursday, of course, but we're doing the alt schedule this week, so, everything's bumped up by a day. So right now, on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday, well, depending on where you are, it was kind of muggy over here, but depending on where you are, you're back on the J-Man Show for episode 255, and I'm your host, J-Man, of course. So, oh, God. I don't know if I really want to slice into this cake today, because the cake is a lie. I mean, I just don't really care for, what's going on, man. It's too much of it. It's all over the place. It's like, which way is up? Which is actually the name of my documentary series, but you get it. I need to go ahead and make some more of those, because it is R&D month, and I'm getting these things all laid out. Oh, man, R&D month's going smooth, y'all. Some of y'all don't see any of the results yet. You will this weekend, because I have plenty of things in stored going on all of these social media sites. You got a lot to look into, and I am just really going all out, because I've never been this tired in my life. And that is without reading what's going on in society and culture. Oh, speaking of which, I managed to hang out with the SOTA crew, and we managed to do something pretty cool. There's supposed to be a Green Room episode coming up soon, and you guys will love it. It's really, really hard-hitting. But as I have my finger on the pulse right now, I see that, once again, Unnecessary just came into the room, and it's not doing any of us any favors. All right? And why? What? I've always wondered this. What exactly has irked those people about Roe v. Wade? Oh, this is the way to this is capital punishment. This is killing babies, Jay. That's killing babies. We can't allow that. No, we can't. Yeah, but you can go ahead and imprison minorities unlawfully and go ahead and charge them with anything just to keep them in private prisons so that people who own private prisons can make money and exploit them and just keep all sorts of opponents away. Like pretty much working on isolation to detain and otherwise destroy somebody's credibility to the point where, they don't live anymore. Because, you're not going to just wipe them out. But, boy, if you put them on death row and stuff, you'll happily take them out, too. And I'm not talking about real criminals. I'm talking about the ones that get caught up or have done nothing at all. You don't have a problem doing that. And that person's living, breathing, and well within the prime of their life. Which they really don't have because they have to go ahead and pay a debt to the society that wronged them in the first friggin' place. Frame-ups happen a lot. So, you mean to tell me you like that, but then at the same time, you're all worried about what goes on in a woman's body, right? During certain situations where she doesn't want to have the child and stuff. Like, usually it's a cluster of cells before it has the heartbeat. But, once again, it's something that they want to take away from we the people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, even if they do this, they're doing it to the people. They're not doing it to, like, one of their own. They're not doing it to other social elites because they can go and get an abortion anywhere they want to. But it's right here in the homeland, which, by the way, like, they have a problem with this kind of stuff. And everybody is all wrapped around a certain part of this narrative because they're not telling you the real story of it. What happened was there was a leak about this, and Politico ran with it, and then everybody read about it like it's one of the agendas that, the good old Supreme Court, who, once again, is on their own damn side more so than the side of what's right. You understand what I'm saying? The highest court in the land decided to bring this back. This has always been an argument, but I always say this. Let them have the choice, man. Like, if you want to have the baby, fine. But if you don't want to have the baby, do what you got to do at that point. It's an option. It's not like it's the option, but it's an option, And the fact that, once again, there's still more damn problems in the world, more problems than solutions, mind you. This is just sprinkling in an otherwise soup that you don't want to eat. It's terrible. Like, and I look at it, but as I speak about it, people will be like, "Oh, you're just being woke, man. You're just being blue blood. You're being one of those Democrats." Oh. I'm not Democratic. I am not a Democrat. Never have been one. I am a registered independent. There are things I'm conservative about, and then there are things that I'm liberal about, and then there's things I really don't give a damn about. But I have to give a damn at this point to go ahead and let you know that I don't give a damn. You see what I say? I care to not care. But when it goes right down to women's rights, yeah, it shouldn't be an argument about that. Same thing with voting rights. The same thing with reworking the penal system. And the same thing with, like, making life livable for, I don't know, the ones that are in this country and, are born in the country. Like, I'm not going to go into the whole immigrant thing because, once again, that's a mess too. It's because somebody didn't regulate this stuff. Somebody didn't do their job about it, or wanted to probably do their job and got locked up in some sort of other way. Trust me, there is a lot of things that need to be fixed up. This is not, we don't really need to go to, like, Congress to help them come together for, like, a Build Back Better. Why don't we just go ahead and work on changing some of this stuff that's already in play a little bit, Why don't we go ahead and reconfigure a few things? Why don't we go ahead and try to make, like, housing affordable? But also, you realize this, there's too many cooks in the kitchen, too. That's where the gridlock comes from. Because there's always going to be that one opposition to it. Why should they? I didn't have to go through that. Or all this other sort of proximity stuff. That's where the argument is. But, of course, this is how sick the people that's, the powers that be are. They want to keep you confused. They want to keep you apathetic. They want you to consume constantly. And never ask questions about anything. Never do any of your self-thinking. Never really take care of yourself. yeah, we'll take care of you. We'll fix this. We'll make this right. Yeah. This is the way. Go ahead, trust us. First off, I don't trust the government about a damn thing. Okay? Especially the one that I live in. Especially the one that, I deal with. And not only that, but you're a number to them. They don't care. As long as you're piggybacking and helping the social elite get through, or like Pelosi to go do whatever she wants to do, or like, hell, even way back when, well, she was always there, right? The woman is old. But I'm saying, like, or McConnell, or any of these other people that, once again, they're rich because they profit off of us. And they're able to go ahead and get any sort of service across the land due to our paychecks and all. So you look at this kind of stuff and you see that, once again, exploiting and fleecing us. Happily finessing us if they can. But also, like, a lot of people are thinking, when it comes to what they're trying to do with the repeal here, they're going to give powers back to the states. Okay, now that sounds kind of good in theory, doesn't it? But you see, you got a lot of states that are more biased than even with the federal input. It's always like that. And you got a lot of state governments, like the state government in Delaware, even though Delaware is, I live in Delaware, so come on, work with me here. It's a good government, don't get me wrong. It has its moments, but it's decent. You know what I mean? And you only put up with them when you got to put up with them. But there are other governments out there which are bullying the people that live in their states, and at the same time do not even try to hear the people that live in their states. Do not even care. Do not even look over that way. Do not even say, oh yeah, you want some affordable housing, right? Well, go get a box somewhere. Or pretty much like, say, like you had a meeting or something to appeal like a wrongful police ticket or something. And then chances are, like, they'll get back to you, but they still want that payment for that police ticket. And the chances are, if you miss that one, what do? They go ahead and they rack it up a little bit more. And then, like, you're still trying to get that appeal date. But no, you ain't getting no appeal date because they gridlocked you somewhere else, so they still rack the money up on it. And if it gets to a certain point where, hey, we can do a warrant for your arrest or whatever, they'll follow through on that nonsense, even though you were in your rights, doing what you can to appeal it. So the problem is, when you got an apathetic state government, that is going to eat at you too. That's why that's a problem. Do you understand? All right? But the problem is they don't want any sort of conflict, but they cause problems that lead to conflict. That is an issue. These things need to be reworked, is what I'm saying. And then, Alan brought up a good point one time where it's like, yeah, this is back in the news, but what is the real story that's going on? And then is it distracting us from the economy and like where all the other growth is? And he had a point about that, because usually when it comes to issues and orders like this, like sometimes when we get hit with like different outcomes of police trials and all, like the Rittenhouse trial was a cover up for something else. Think about it. Like the times table behind all this crazy stuff, it's very, very dank and dark when they do this. Because, like, you always want to pay attention to, like, what's going on, because things are always different. When they go ahead and they try to take away choices like this, and when they try to bombard us with all this other stuff, there's an agenda going on somewhere. Now, another friend of mine talked about saying that it was midterms coming up. Of course it's midterms coming up. That's why certain things are on the table, or hurrying up, being pushed through different committees and stuff right now. You understand that? Certain arguments are being put back on the table. Like, they're even trying to do, like, a miniature version of Build Back Better or something, and sending it, like, trying to hurry up and send that through because of midterms. That way they say, righto, we did a great job, and you know what, you guys didn't have to wait too long for it. Oh, but we did. Which is why, like, some people are like, man, I don't want full Democrat control no more. But, hey, Republicans, what do you guys got? Oh, I'm glad you asked. What we have is limited of all the stuff around here because we're about small government. But at the same time, we want to dictate all the things that you do. And then, of course, if you ever have like a disease that's really, really threatening your lungs and all, you just pray it away. But I'm agnostic. Well, damn you to hell then. And at the same time, let me go ahead and take out this gun here and go fire it around. NRA, we back in the club, baby. Trust me. They doing that. And at the same time, it's like, I don't have time for this, man. You know? I don't have time to prove what side of the fence I'm on. I remember having to calm some sort of woman down not too long ago because she was all up in arms talking about dudes suck and all this other stuff. And, you know, they need to go ahead and get it to where they can cut your dicks off. And it's like, my dick didn't do anything to you because, for one thing, I already have a beautiful girlfriend. But another damn thing is that I know damn well we didn't get it on. So just leave me the hell alone about that and keep my dick out of your mind. Any of y'all thinking about my dick, by the way, you know something? You had a chance. You know, have one now. Let it go. And by the way, I have a beautiful shaft. But I want you to know. Well, you don't think I'm going to say all this stuff and not give myself praise? Come on now. It's the Jam Man Show. But the wildest thing is, I'm not one of the dudes out here. Matter of fact, I am a man, so, you know, nah. I am not one of the men out here that is trying to make your life harder. All right? Now, if you go and try to make my life harder, then I have no choice but to retaliate by coming at you about all the other stuff that you're embarrassed to talk about. Because you didn't have a problem trying to mess mine up. But when it comes down to abortion and when it comes down to, like, you having choices and how you take care of your bodies and all that stuff, believe me, I'm with you. You know what I mean? If you need to get, like, certain treatments for ailments that bother you, I'm with you. I want you to go ahead and handle that. I want you to fight for it. But what I don't want you to do is to go after every man on the planet like it's their problem and like it's their fault. You don't get to harass and bully people. This is why I didn't enjoy, like, Black Lives Matter there for a little bit. Because, yes, Black lives do matter. And, indeed, we need our voices amplified. Once again, we have to do that again because things have gotten calm and peaceful. People went back into relaxing mode. And, of course, you know, like, when minorities attack other minorities, people stop giving a damn about that. That struggle and that battle will never end. So, all people of color and minorities, you need to pay attention. You need to hold these fools around us accountable, which, by the way, is what all women need to do when it comes to the abortion rights and stuff like that. And the thing is, don't do it when it's the most romantic, exciting part of the struggle. You got to be there for the cool times and the hot times. You understand? That is the way you got to look at it. You can't just be like a weekend warrior all the time. You got to really pay attention. And then there are times where, guess what, you know? Don't get too triggered about it to the point where you spaz out and you're not fighting then. Because guess what? Could you imagine having a whole platoon of people on your side? But the thing is, one thing comes along and all the anxieties are triggered and then they just fall apart. That's what that is. We don't have time for that. If you already know that you're angry about this and that you got something to say, write the stuff down, say something about it. Don't be ashamed of having a list. Lists are great. Organize your stance and use your words. Yeah, you know? Like, really do it. And then, you know, give them something that they didn't expect. And then it might work. But you see, the thing is, protesting used to be a viable form of speaking out about things. Now it is, because there was something coming up every damn day. Not every week, every day. That's where people are, like, nullified to it. They're so desensitized against that stuff. Like, I can't believe I live in a time where Florida is worried about critical race theory, which at the same time, it's not a theory, it's history, it's what happened. You need to talk about what happened. And I can't believe I also live in a time where they have a don't say gay bill, where at the same time, LGBTQ, right? You're talking about a group of people who chose to date within their own gender or, like, be polymorphous with some things. You're talking about all that. You understand. And then at the same time, you're trying to shaft everybody's rights on stuff. Especially down there in the state game. But Florida's been wild for a very long time. It's to the point where even the Gators are getting sick of things because they're starting to climb out and go into neighborhoods and all this other stuff, just ready to say, you know what, we don't had enough, y'all. We just going to go ahead and devour these crazy trailer park trashes around here. We're going to do what needs to be done. We're going to work our way up to the Capitol building if need be. That's what I'm saying. And it doesn't make sense while we're here at this point. I just don't get it. You know? And then, like, I think, what is it? DeSantis is still fighting Disney, too. They're going to take away the self-governed status. But if they do that, chances are they got to go ahead and pay the debts that they have occurred over the years. You know, you might want to leave that alone. That's like pretty much kicking your own ass. That's like when last episode, when I was laying the law down, I did it in the right way. I went at those people that were in the Jam Fam, but I didn't dismiss the whole Jam Fam. You know what I'm saying? And I carried on with Jams 45 because that's my job. As a producer, that's my job. If you're not going to be working with the flow of the group, and if you're not going to be coming in and being a part of this, you got to go. I'll cut you out because I am not going to have you go ahead and throw around any sort of bad words of mouth or go ahead and try to be like, it's all about me, and infect the rest of the people that are in that community. That community still has a right to be here, and it still has a lot of growth to do. I do it for like the win-win in the big picture. These people do it because, guess what, there's shock value in it. And when you start doing shock value on things, and that stuff starts to run out, you know, where does it go then? You don't want to ruin any of the tourist attractions. A lot of people go down to Florida to go see Mickey, and then probably go see Universal, and then probably go to all the other surrounding areas. But like I said, they usually think of Disney first. So, almost cussed. Stop your nonsense. You understand? Like, why a lot of people like, yeah, move Disney out of Florida, man. Yeah, do that. No. Let it be where it is. That was Walt's dream project. Let it be where it is. All right? The hell with that. Y'all need to stop this nonsense, man. Shit, for real. They got time for that. But when it gets right down to it, though, like, you know, going back into all these other things that have gone wrong, you'll probably hear a lot of that on the SOTA Green Room, but these are more of my takes on it. It's like, why are we doing this? There's a right answer to everything, you know? Keep that on the federal level. States are still trying to work in a rebuild. I mean, some states feel like they don't have control, and maybe that's what this is all about. Maybe that's what, like, all the stuff with the voting rights, maybe all the stuff with, like, well, defund the police. Defund the police went wrong. It went wrong a long time ago. I mean, I don't know. Is Portland okay? Which one of those states actually did defund their whole police department? Well, it was Minnesota too, right? And then Minnesota had more problems going on in it. See, these are like unhealthy relationships, but the fact that they are there is because they've been there for a long period of time, and instead of like really working it out, they did not even speak about like how defund the police actually would work. What it is that pulling back on what's militarized regarding it. But you see, once again, none of us did any good or follow through on that. Matter of fact, what really kills me is like when certain states start showboating about like what they have done. I think New York was showboating not too long ago by getting one gun off the street. Really? One gun, right? Do you not know how... I'm trying to be full of zen, and it's slowly going away. But at the same time, it's like, you don't know how damn big New York City is? And you're going to go ahead and showboat for one gun? How stupid are you? Y'all look like a bunch of candy asses on that photo, too. I was like, nah, you look bad. This ain't right. I can't wait to see more crazy stuff in LA, boy. I can't wait. But because Lord knows I haven't. But that's any metropolitan area. But there are people out here that do these things, and they show us small victories. They're not just small victories. They're hollow. These are hollow victories, man. What about actually solving the problem? What about making life livable? What about, solving the energy crisis? What about solving the opioid crisis? Oh, yeah. Joe Biden's trying to give crack pipes around. No, you dumb idiot. What Joe Biden was trying to push... But then again, it wasn't entirely him. But what was trying to be pushed through the administration was a clean needle exchange. What it was going to be using Naxalin and the needles to actually help people recover from drug overdoses. It was all about keeping the needles clean, and not only that, curing and trying to reverse addiction. Just like when you use Narcan. You use Narcan because guess what? Your buddy at the concert might be overdosing on some fentanyl, something awful, and you're like, oh my God. Instead of everybody like, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Somebody can come over there that's really trained and help them try to breathe and come back to life. I'm trained to use it. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, That's a solution, but at the same time, go ahead and call 911 so somebody can get here and get this person some help. Because fentanyl is everywhere. It is not just a Delaware problem. It is not just a California problem. It is not just a New York problem. It is a nationwide problem. And not only that, let's go on ahead with a little global statistics because they got their problems too. And we're not just talking Ukraine and Russia's conflict, in which, by the way, once again, you're seeing it. It's like pretty much a new version of the Crusades, right? This ain't nothing more than about real estate, if anything. But once again, like when people or celebrities come up and ask me, are you going to donate to the cause? Are you going to donate to the cause? I am donating to the cause. I live here. I am donating to the cause because I'm talking about it. I am donating to the cause because guess what? You know, I'm in the war at home. Some of y'all try to tell me how to feel about certain things, and I know I can't feel that way because at the end of the day, who the hell are you to tell me how to feel? And I wouldn't mind donating money to Ukraine's cause, but I do know, like, when Haiti's cause was around, I couldn't donate to that because, hey, slime bags took the money away. I couldn't donate to what happened with Puerto Rico regarding Hurricane Maria. I couldn't donate to, like, a lot of war-torn, natural disaster-torn areas because people were using it to fund their own stuff. You know what I mean? Administrative costs. The people never saw a lick of that money. That's what gets on my nerves. Little things like that. But hey, I'm all for, like, how can I help you? And I mean really help you. Things like that. And not bad for some guy who pretty much did an Order 66 on his own crew, right? Which is what the rumor is. And like at the end of the day, if you're paying attention, no, I didn't do an Order 66 on my entire crew. I still have quite a lot of people that love and respect me around here. Especially the things that I do. And I don't need to explain all the ins and outs because you can watch that episode. But the truth is, it's like, guess what? Once again, I'm in the war at home. I got to try to figure out, like, oftentimes, how can I afford this? Because nowadays, people want to go ahead and say, like, you can't get a home over there. You can't get a job over there. You can't do any of this stuff. You can't talk to her. You can't do any of this. That's a lot of I can't. That is, like, the dumbest crap I've ever heard. And not for lack of trying, because I know, like, there are people out here, you get apathetic. You get to the point where it's like, you can't do anything. You get all, like, in a huff and say, like, it's too hard. What kind of a puss are you? See, you know why I'm tired? Because I work all the time. You know why I work all the time? Because I don't want to be average or basic. Because I want to do all these great things I said I was going to do. Because I am doing all these great things I said I was going to do. And I got this far, so let me climb some more damn mountains. Like, there are times where I really get drained, but at the same time, it's only temporary because guess what? I'm going to take the risk. I'll do all the shots I got to do. Nobody could tell me otherwise. Nobody could really tell me not to go for that sort of thing. If we're going to get a house in CA, fine, whatever. I'll do it. If we're going to do all that kind of stuff and still vacation over in Japan for a little bit, we'll do it. Because I'm going to find a way to make it work. All the damn excuses in the world are not going to help you build that house. Just like if you quit, oh yeah, you really showed them, didn't you? You got a little bit of attention for 5 minutes. 5 whole damn minutes. That 5 whole damn minutes don't make a difference. I'm not Michael Jordan. I'm not going to leave the game and then come back because guess what? Baseball didn't work out. That's not the way it works. Even as I do J360 TV, I still will do J360 radio. Among other things. And I'll also help out other creatives with their work. But you got to be willing to work with me, though. Don't try to fast talk me and all that nonsense, because I know it. I know a scam when I see one. Remember, know who the hell you do business with. It's got to be a win-win for us all. Can't be one people trying to shortchange another people and then just trying to make other people's lives unbearable, man. I'm getting sick of the government trying to play football with my life, but at the same time, I also know I can offset this and I can actually do it a little bit better. Now, what my technique is, I'm not telling you. You figure out a technique. You know it too, if you really pay attention. And I probably already said it throughout all these seasons of doing this show. Think about it. What can you do without? what can you make a change at somewhere? You understand what I'm saying? When you already know there's a problem, you should also be thinking of 3 ways to solve it. And I don't mean put a Band-Aid on it. I mean solve it. And like when some of you lonely people out there, I get it. Love is hard. Love is... It takes a lot. You know what I mean? There's a bill to pay with love. It's called pain sometimes. Or like, at the end of the day, you have a certain thing, and if your significant other doesn't, agree with it and all that kind of stuff, it's hard. Yeah, I get it. But you know what, though? It's worth it if you play the game right. And in that sort of regard, too, some people go too crazy when it's like over the petty stuff. Like, oh, yeah, like I was the first one you made love to, right? And knowing damn well you both are like in your 30s and crap. And it's like, nah, fool, you ain't the first one she been with. And I mean, there are some out there that are like that. But the truth is that, once again, I don't know why people need to clout chase when it comes to that, too. It's like this. Like, you ever see the meme where it's like the men in your girl's life, and then all of a sudden there's you, and you look like a piece of crap, whereas everybody else looked like they were gods upon men? See, well, this is the J-Man version of it. Every single one of those men got knocked the F out while I'm shaking hands with the dad, and I'm winking at y'all. And I'm still looking the same as friggin' immaculate as I am, because that's me, son. I don't say no for the other guy. And then, like, if I look at I can see it now, looking at some of my ladies' exes, I'm like, I don't give a damn. Let's do Scott Pilgrim then. And let me tell you this, they ain't gonna burst into no coins. I'll be looking right at them, kind of like how Godzilla was fighting off against, like, King Ghidorah. And, like, the second round, baby, glowing red and crap. That's just the way it goes. Like, it's my show. See, that's what some of y'all need to be thinking about. If you have somebody in your life that really likes you for you, do not try to mess this up by eyeing something else, or at the same time trying to go get some cred with the boys on all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean. Competition, worried about who she been with and all that crap. I don't give a damn. It's my show now. It's my show now. And some of you ladies like that. Stop worrying about anybody's exes. She can look at my exes. I don't give a damn about them. Because you know why? It's her show now. That's right, damn it. It's the way it works. And that's one for you, sweetheart, if you're listening. The point is like, yeah. The truth is that, you worry and you empower and you get all uptight about some of the most lamest stuff. And thank God I had all my crap early, because I can only imagine being like you guys now, freaking out about every little damn thing. You got to know how to solve the problem. You got to know how to fix the problem. You got to know how to not worry about stuff all the time, because there's going to be some real unreasonable crap coming your way. The one that comes from me is the student loan. But the truth is, my student loan isn't as high as like other people. Some of y'all got student loans that are just catastrophic to the point where it's like, ooh, I feel for you. It hurts me. But, have you looked into loan forgiveness? Have you looked into, like, other ways to go ahead and solve that problem? Like, once again, if you let these 3 news networks, the 3 main ones, beat you into submission where it's like, you're just floating through life. You're just wafting through. No. You're going to have to break from that matrix a little bit. And you're going to have to really learn, like, where you're going to be at. Like, education is pretty powerful. Like, let's go ahead and pay attention to, like, certain things where we can actually bounce back from this. I mean, you could lose money, but you could also get a whole lot more. You could also do a lot of things. You could lose, like, people that are on your radio show, but you could also get a lot more if you really want this damn thing to work. Which is why I'm not giving up on jams. Which is why I'm not giving up on J360 Productions. Which is why I don't give up on my relationship. Which is why I don't give up on a lot of things. You understand? Because they all have a chance to be better than what they are. And they're already friggin' great. And then not to mention, like, all the side hustles. Yeah, I'm going to do a lot more of those, too. Because I love this damn thing that I do. But you see, that works for me. What works for you might be a whole different animal. And then, like, some of you that worry all the time, you got to put the efforts in. And if you put the efforts in and people aren't giving back and all that kind of stuff, maybe it's just bad timing. Or maybe it's just like, it is what it is and all that jazz, but people just don't get it. And they just don't take the time to figure out, like, how can I make this work, And then sometimes it's kind of good if it doesn't work. There's something always better. Usually. Like that job you didn't get. Man, I've seen people really get sore about jobs that they didn't get, you know? And it sucks. That's another thing that needs to be fixed up a little bit better. Job hunting is friggin' terrible, man. You know? And like, say, like, if you have everything on the check boxes, you know what their whole argument is at that point? You're overqualified. If I had a nickel for how many jobs that I am overqualified for just because I do this for you guys and I've spent 10 years of my life gaining skills in my craft, and like I do pretty well at my current job. I mean, if that stuff could equate to money, I mean, I'd have like 5 houses. I'm just being honest. That's just wow. And then got a nerve for some jobs that are like, you know, to the point where they're like entry level. Why would you require a master's degree for that? See, once again, it's like fleecing. And at this point, it's like, you know, you might as well just go ahead and get a whole bunch of money together and start your own business. It's terrible. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And at the same time, I want you to go ahead and, you know, have one day where you're mad about it. But then the second day, you got to start doing something about it. You're allowed to get mad. Like, yeah. You guys have never seen me really mad. You've seen me pissed, but you've never seen me really mad. Do you understand that? Even first season stuff. That stuff's light compared to how I used to go. But the truth is that guess what? You got to start doing stuff about it. And, you know, sometimes that's not the answer. All right? Let that be your ignition, but that's not the answer. And I just look at it from time to time. And looking back on certain things, I'm glad I did what I needed to do to get to this point. Because there's more that I got to do. And then, like, I ain't worried about the news entirely. And I know that Roe v. Wade, if they're smart, they don't. If they're smart, they wouldn't mess with that. You get me? And then, like, some of these other pointless, stupid things out here, if we choose not to empower them, and if we just really educate ourselves on the issues, and if we really just know exactly what we can talk about and how we can get to, like, what the real solution would be, I'm sure we can actually come up with some pretty cool stuff. And I'm not talking about the government. They're going to take a lot of convincing, but a lot of those people are just really, really older than dirt and shouldn't even be working there anymore. But I'm talking to all of us here, we the people. We're going to have to do something, but we got to get out of our own damn way, which is source for another episode, you know? But all in all, though, I got to get on out of here, so you guys take it easy. We will have a Hangouts episode happening tomorrow, and you'd be surprised on who shows up because it's an open Hangouts episode, which means it'll be a live one. But until then, though, this is J-Man, signing off. Peace.
Help spread love and feel the joy of giving back. During the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event at Beardmore Subaru, Subaru will donate $250 to the charity of your choice for every new Subaru purchased or leased. The ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, the National Park Foundation, the Housing Foundation of Sarpy County, or Offutt Air Force Base's Airman's Attic. Plus, we will give an additional $100 locally to help even more. Go to BeardmoreSubaru.com to learn more. Submit charity selection by 1/12/24. Promotion ends 1/2/24. See Subaru.com for more details.